Hello! Luke Cutter here, and today we are looking at Marneus Calgar. But not this Marneus. We're looking at this one. The new 2025 Marneus Calgar in Terminator armor. Marneus Cool Guy. Marneus Calgar is my favorite character in 40k. I love reading all the books about him. He is super cool. And here he is, the new model all built up. I have him on some extra core pieces to make him a little taller. Hopefully I can do him justice. Starting out with some classic McCrag blue. Cover all the armor bits and getting a nice base color down. The previous model, the Primaris version of Marneus Calgar, I got when it came out, and I had just gotten the game in 2018, and he was so cool. He was one of the first couple models that I was like, I'm gonna go super hard on him, and he's gonna look so cool. At the end, you'll see a direct comparison, then back to back, and it's night and day difference. I'm not saying my original paint job in 2019 was bad, but I have a new standard for cool characters. The 2018 version would now be considered like my base troop kind of standard what I do. But here we go, going through all the base coats, and I'm dry brushing the cork and all the stone to give it a nice stone texture. I start with the black, and then I go with an Eshin gray, and then I top dry brush with Dawnstone, and that kind of gives it like a multicolored like granite stone look. It looks really cool. But this miniature's only been out for about a week or two, and I was super hyped to get it and get it all painted up. I got a big battle in December called Defense of Grandma's House, and I'm bringing about half a company of Terminators. And when he was announced, I was like, I gotta have him painted up. And I rearranged my list so he could be leading my Ultramarine Terminators, and I was like, this is gonna be so sweet. Have everyone deep striking in and deep striking Marneus Calgar, and with all the Terminators, it's gonna be so cool. Here we start with the normal base coats. Got the blue down, of course. Then I started doing all the metal gun bits with his dual gauntlet mounted bolters, which are so sweet. So sweet. Screamer pink for his outside of his cloak. This is my... Oh, and the dangly bits in his crotch. Yeah. This is the color I use for all my captain's capes and cloaks and stuff, and I used it on the 2018 model for his cloak, and I was like, I gotta do it for this one as well, just to make it look really cool. And this isn't the usual gold I use for my Ultramarines, but I think since he's a Chapt Master, he needs a brighter gold, so Richard Rear Armor Gold is what I'm going with. And just with these three colors down, I just thought he looked so cool. That's the majority of the colors on him, and it just kind of like, it really pops. Here he is after I got the gold all trimmed up, and such a great looking miniature. I'm such a Marneus Calgar fanboy, I'm sorry. It's so cool. Dawnstone for the Crux Terminatus on his pauldron, and the other like little cross thing on his shin. I always painted the shin thing stone as well. I did it on all my other Terminators, so I don't know what color they're supposed to be. I got interrupted by the kitties. They both took over my painting area, so kitty pick included. You're welcome. Now we start getting into some of the fiddly bits, his face and all the accoutrement that he has all over him. Really easy. Bam! All the Ultramarine symbols he has on all over him. I just paint them straight up bright white. And the little Ultramarine symbols on the bottom of his tabard, is that what it's called? The things between his legs? Yeah, the tabard. New word. And then I'm going in with his hair. I used a correct stone, give it like that, like darkening gray kind of color. I do the inside of the cloak with the Reikarth flesh to kind of give it like that, like taupe tan color. I don't know if it was the right choice. Looking back at it now, it kind of looks a little. It doesn't look weird. I should have gone with a different color, but I don't know what. So we're sticking with it just because I didn't know, and I still don't know. All the red bits and the gems and the rope laurels through his chest. Here I'm using Balthazar Gold to pick out all the little shell casings that came molded into his base. Like he'd been shooting some, and these are all the shell casings that had fallen over the base. That, I like the gold breaking up the base grays. That was really cool. Here I do a little wet blending into these flames on his gauntlets. I'm not the greatest at flames or anything like that, but it's such a tiny detail, no one's really going to see it anyways. You barely see it on camera. Now with all the base colors done, I go in with some shades. Agrax Earth shade for the cloak, and all the cloth on his purity seals and all that kind of stuff. This is where I was starting to second guess my choice of the undercloak. I was like, that looks really dirty with the Agrax Earth shade on it, but they're from Sepia for all the gold colors to make them really bright and warm. Like the look of that. Really like the look of that. And then we go with the classic Null Oil for all the armor, all the blue bits of armor, and all the metal. I'm not a huge fan of the new recipe Null Oil. I know it's probably they changed it a couple years ago or whatever. It's just more bisque than the original oil. It doesn't stain as much, so you don't get that much of a contrast like you used to. Which, I mean, it's whatever. I still have some of the old versions kicking around. A lot of the old shade colors that I have, they're the original ones, so they really stain. I have a Necron recipe that just uses the original Seraphim Sepia just over white to make them tan, and it's really cool. Now here we go with start doing highlights. I use Dawnstone just to highlight the stone on the base. after it's been shaded, just the edges, just to give it some contrast and just make it pop. You don't want to go too crazy, since this is the previous color before a shade. It's not a drastic contrast, but it's just enough that you're like, oh, okay, there's some cool stuff going on over there. That, and you don't want to make the base too crazy, and it'll distract away from the model. At least that's what I believe in, anyways. Like with the big model, it's got a big base, like knights or stuff. You can do some crazy stuff on those bases, and perfectly fine. You can get away with it. Now we go back in with some Screamer Pink to highlight the raises on his cloak. Make it look really cool to bring it all together, kind of knock down the dirtiness the Agrax Earthshade kind of gives it when you shade it with that. Then here we go with the Wrecker Flesh on the inside. This is what I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna look muddy and dirty, but it's the same color, so you can just kind of clean it up a little bit. No big deal. And then back in with the McCrag Blue over the armor, keeping it out of the corners, you know, making sure the shade contrast still's there, but, you know, just bringing up the surface level. He's looking pretty good. He's looking pretty good at this point. Like, it doesn't, the models are beautifully sculpted and there's a lot of detail. If you just pick out everything and keep it clean, like, it's not hard. Going back in with the face with some Canadian flesh tone. That's what we're going with now. Canadian flesh tone. Doing some texture paint on the base, just to do some offset color from the stone. I really want to make a Cadian infantry Astra Militarium group now. Just Cadians got the way, the Canadians are coming in. Here we go with the Calgar Blue. A Calgar Blue for the edge highlighting. Just to give them some pop and some extra pizzazz. And then at this point, he's pretty much done. I want to add a couple tufts to his base where I threw some dirt down. Nothing too out of the ordinary. I had the idea to paint up some skulls, put some skulls on his base like I had in the 2018 one. But I was like, just a couple tufts, that's all there's going to be room for right there. And then we go in with the matte black to paint up the base rim. Marneus Augustus Calgar is finished. Alright. Let's get into the sexies. This is Marneus Augustus Calgar by Luke Ketter. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. As you can see, he paid up pretty well. It doesn't take much. You just gotta do it. Anyone can do this. I'm not even the greatest, and I just did it. Thanks for watching. And remember, just keep painting.